The title of this audiobook is Party Pete's Bumper Book of Games. It can be found in one's player-owned house on any bookshelf. It is there by default, and it is the only area to find this book in the game of RuneScape. This book describes games which can be played within one's player-owned house games room and one's player-owned house combat room. Hangman. The word-guessing game was invented by Mad King Nares of Ardoin in order to encourage literacy among his subjects. Today it is played with an effigy rather than a real person, and it makes for an amusing distraction for one or more players. When the game is started, the Hangman game chooses a word at random. Players take turns to guess one letter at a time. If they guess correctly, that letter is revealed, but if they are incorrect, then the scaffold and the effigy are built one step at a time until the effigy is hanged. Players can also guess multiple letters if they think they know the word, but if they guess incorrectly, no letters will be revealed. The player to complete the word wins. Fairy Treasure Hunt. The treasure fairies delight in hiding in human dwellings and watching in glee as people try to find them. While once this caused havoc throughout Mistlin, since then the fairies have turned this activity into a fun party game. When summoned from her mushroom house, the fairy will hide somewhere, in the house or on its grounds. Each player is given a magical stone that will tell them how close they are to the fairy. The first player to use the stone while standing at the right place wins. Mimic the Jester. The Jester is a cousin of the mime, but rather than summoning people from their activities to pass its tests, the Jester is happy to be summoned whenever a game is desired. It will perform gestures, which the player must try to copy. The first player to get 10 correct wins. Elemental Balance. The elemental balance is a battle of wits and wizardry. When the sphere is summoned, it is unbalanced on the two elemental axes, earth-air and fire-water. The direction in which it is most unbalanced can be seen by its color. To balance the sphere, players must attack it with spells of the opposite element. So if it is red, for example, players must use Water Spell. The winner is the player who casts the spell that puts it in perfect balance. Attack Stone. This ancient game was once used as a means of resolving leadership disputes. The attack stone is simply a pillar of clay, limestone, or marble carefully constructed to respond differently to stabbing, slashing, and crushing. If it takes enough damage in any of these three forms, it shatters, and the player who struck that blow wins. Ranging games. The stick and hoop, dartboard, and archery game are all played using the same rules. Players take turns to throw or shoot at the target in order to score points. The range of points that can be awarded depends on the target. With the hoop, there is only hitting and missing. With the dartboard, the maximum is 3, and with the archery target, it is 10. After all players have had 10 shots, the highest scoring player wins. Combat. The various combat rings have different restrictions on weapons that can be used in them. No equipment can be worn in the boxing ring except for boxing gloves, although players may also fight barefisted if they wish. Any weapons can be used in the fencing ring, but no armor of any kind can be worn. There are no restrictions in the combat ring. There are similarly no restrictions for the ranging pedestals, but since the combatants are separated, only ranged weapons will be effective. The balance beam allows only one weapon, the puggle stick, and fighting on the beam is a test of agility as well as combat. The combat rings are enchanted so that players cannot kill one another. The loser is simply ejected from the ring and healed. Prizes. If the games room has a prize chest and the house owner has put money into it, then the winner of any of these games will be given a key to the chest so that they can claim their prize. I hope you all found that informative. Until next time, guys, peace. This has been an HerbQuest audiobook.